This is one of the special education schools in Seoul, Korea. Even though the Department of Education requires the number of students in each classroom to be no more than 8, this class already exceeded the limit by 3 students. It is crucial to have one-to-one aid for each student with disabilities since they exhibit different educational levels and characteristics. However, it is not only impossible in this setting but also raises questions about the safety of the students as well.
I'm a 16-year-old teenage girl. Just like you guys, the happiest moment for me is when I'm sleeping, eating, and playing games on my phone. I wake up every morning around 6 a.m. to get ready for school. It is very early and I am tired, but luckily my mom helps me with my hair and I do not have to do it myself. Although it would be nice to sleep more, my school is far away and I need plenty of time to get there. My journey to school takes about 90 minutes. I first walk to the bus stop with my mom. She walks behind me because she wants me to practice getting places on my own. When the bus arrives, I get on with my classmates and finish the trip to school. It feels good to sit and relax for a little while before the day officially begins. When I get to school, we start off with presentations about our interests. Although we know each other well, if I have to learn how to speak to a crowd, I'm glad I get to practice in front of my classmates. My presentation was about my phone and how in my spare time I like to play games and look at pictures of me and my friends. In this way, I am no different than other teenagers my age. Every day, we do some sort of physical activity to help us wake up before the rest of our lessons. Today we learned dance choreography, of which I quickly picked up. The dance moves our teacher taught us made me feel like a pop star, and the accompanying music helped me get into my moves. I just love dancing with my friends. After our dance session, we go downstairs to our life skills class, where today we made noodles. My teacher helped me cut an onion and a cucumber to add to the noodles. I liked the flavor it added, but using that big knife was scary. I am glad my teacher was next to me and helps guide my hand. Luckily, my mom can help me practice this at home. I learned to make food with lots of love. As I learn to cook, I imagine cooking for my family in the future. Life Skills is one of my favorite classes because I learn how to cook dishes I can make for myself and my family. I'm glad I got to try our noodles today because after Life Skills, I walked to my therapy session. At the beginning of the session, my instructor assesses me on my speech. This may sound intimidating, but luckily she is very nice and makes me feel comfortable. It helped knowing that after the assessment, we would get to play a game together. I think she is still observing me during this game, but that is alright with me because I am having fun. It is a nice break before I go back to school to my classmates and teachers. Nowadays, I have more concerns than ever before. Lately, I worry about how people think of the way I speak and act because it seems somewhat different from many others. I know I speak differently. It is unfortunate that some friends do not wait for me. People just ignore me. But I am not mad. They just don't know me well enough.
I will show you a picture with some explanation and you tell me what you think. Sang came to his friend's house and knocked the door. However, no one is answering. Why is that? What do you think?
Because he did not keep his promise?
If you look at it externally, Sohee does not have difficulties in simple conversations. However, if she hasn't faced or experienced the exact situation, she just refuses to listen to the questions. Even when she does, her answers are off task. Also, Sohee never lets her anger out. She is afraid to show her emotions. She suppresses her feelings in front of the public. We try to work on expressing honest feelings and different coping strategies with her. Although it is a hassle to get to a special education school, sending a student with a disability to a regular school does not help them at all. Parents want their child to mingle with non-disabled students, but often students with disabilities are still cast aside and not given their necessary support. Often, students with disabilities will be separated from their non-disabled peers and will have only one teacher or a few assistants to teach them throughout the day. As ideal as full inclusion sounds, once students reach middle school, they start preparing for the college entrance exams, and therefore the pace of the curriculum speeds up and special education students fall behind. If inclusion is to be realistic, the entire education system will need to change.
Back with my class, we did a role-playing game where we put on animal masks and rehearsed a scene together in pairs. I felt a little embarrassed playing a starfish, but luckily I am close with my classmates, and after a minute or two, it felt more like playing a game with my friends. For arts and crafts, we created an orange heart as a class. We each contributed by making little scrunched up orange balls out of paper. Before putting it all together, our teacher helped us trace the heart so it's easier to put together at the end.
I'm happy that my daughter goes to a special education school. I feel confident she would not face the ridicule and discrimination if she were in a general education school. I wish the schools were more convenient to reach, but in many affluent areas, the residents do not want a special education school built. They think it will decrease their property value. Many parents also believe that being around special education children will have a negative impact on their own students. Because of this belief and attitude, I am glad my daughter is around people who support her.
I am happy at school with my friends. We all have disabilities and we take comfort in being together. Because I am in such a small group, we are able to get to know each other well. I can dance like nobody is watching because they make me feel comfortable in being myself. I do not have to hide my disability or contain myself. They understand who I am, and I understand who they are. We have a mutual respect and admiration for one another.
Out of 250 students in this school, 50 students are from other districts because 8 out of 25 districts in Seoul have not built schools for students with disabilities yet. As a result, this school, particularly 23 out of 35 classrooms, have exceeded the limit allowed, and the other school situations are not much different. The Department of Education in Seoul has plans to build 2 new schools for students with developmental disorders aimed to be finished by 2018 and 2019, but so far, no progress has been made in their construction. There are approximately 13,000 students with disabilities who need to be enrolled, but the capacity for special education schools in Seoul are only 4,000. Although there are schools, those schools are inconvenient for special education students to commute.